McFry is the cockadoodle rooster. I am the rooster, and this is ripped from the headlines for Friday the 13th, February 2009. And the top story on CNN.com is crash victim was rock of the family. Quotes in there. And this is related to that plane crash that happened a day or two ago up in Buffalo or something. And of course it's a horrible, tragic story, and the news has no choice in the matter. They have to acknowledge that and then find the most horrible and tragic thing about this tragic event. So of course they find the best person that they could, on that plane. Of course it's not the pilot in this case, like it was in the guy that, successfully crash landed on the Hudson River. So they find some people among the passengers that were just the best, person in the people's family, and they were the most reliable and caring, and they're going to talk about them because they're dead now, and that is extra tragic. Okay, next story in the world section, and the headline is man charged with arson in Australia wildfires. So apparently, I guess they've caught some guy that started this fire. I don't know if what I've heard is correct. That apparently 3/4 of the entire country has just gone up in flames, and they're not wildfires apparently. So this headline is just fucked up, because if it's a wildfire, it was started in the wild, by natural causes, which it wasn't. It was arson, they're claiming, and they got the guy who did it. So I don't know what they're talking about here. Again, CNN fails to get their facts straight. Next story in the U.S. section, there's a picture of a mummy, and it says 30-year-old seen for the first time in 3,000 years. And I guess apparently they dug up another tomb, another grave as it were, and I guess they were looking for treasures and stuff like that. I think they should just have left it alone. It's a little tacky to be going, grave robbing and all that stuff. And this looks very Egyptian. I guess it could be Native American or something like that. So I don't know how this ends up in the U.S. section. I guess read on, it may be kind of interesting. Next up in the politics section, House okays stimulus bill, Senate voting. So, okay, so all I've heard about this stimulus bill is they're going to pass it. They voted on it. They passed it. It's passed. They're going to pass it. Just do it. Whatever, alright? Just make the jobs. Do it. Next up in the crime section, and the headline is NIU shooter idolized horror flick killer. And there's this picture of this crazy looking guy, and he's holding that mask from the Saw movies, which is just hilarious if this guy actually went around killing people based on the movie. I mean, that's just, I don't know, if he did anything like that's in that movie, I mean, I give him credit. That shit was creative. Even if he just copied it, that it's got to give him, well, there you go. Top story in the crime section. Boom. I guess I'm not the only one that thinks this way. Next up in the entertainment section, and the headline is Fireproof is still generating heat. I guess this is some kind of TV show about firefighters or something like that. And I guess they're having some kind of fake controversy to promote this show. It's the only thing I can gather from it. I mean, why would they put it on the front of the thing? Next up, the health section, and they're still running their headline in Flash, which is not on the iPhone, so I can't see the story. Moving on. Next up in the tech section, high-tech scanner reveals mummy's face. And it's the same picture from the U.S. section, about the 30-year-old, and they have that side by side with some kind of skeleton or something. And I guess they figured out a way to look inside that mummy to see the skeletal person, which is just great. I mean, it's not really high technology. Pretty sure they've been doing that for a while. Grave robbers. Okay, now to the travel section, and the headline is, Reporters Remember Romantic Vacations. So this is some kind of puff piece on the fact that CNN is getting these reporters, supposedly real people that happened to be at some events, and they captured a video or an audio or some kind of picture or something that they're going to send to CNN so they can use for free. And what do they give them? They say, oh, you're an reporter. Well, whoop-de-doo. Next up in the living section, how we first met and fell in love. And there's a picture of some kind of couple. This guy has like a porno stash. The picture looks like from the 70s or something like that. And I'm guessing this is some kind of, they're getting ready for Valentine's Day or something, getting these love story pieces and stuff. And, I could tell you my story of how I met my wife and fell in love. But, I'll save that for another time, I guess. So that's pretty much it. Slow news day, I'd say, unless there's stuff happening that they're not telling us, which is very likely when a slow news day is happening. But anyways, cock-a-doodle.